everybody, welcome to more Bandit Survivor, but just with a little bit less effort. And today we have something super cool to announce. Firstly, you're getting a nice room tour of my house if you've watched more Bandit Survivor. I've been in a few different rooms for the past while, but today we're actually in a room with Wi-Fi because we're going to be going over Chaotic Reality, which is basically like an org. It does have its own text-based games within it. It does originate from a text-based org, but this is held live. It was done over a series of hours in a night. Morning time for me and a few other individuals, as you'll see, but it features myself and 10 other contestants, and it's a social strategy game, kind of like Survivor. I would liken it more to Big Brother in the fact that there's nominations. You have to nominate someone. Anyone that gets a nomination, whether that be 1 to 10 nominations, they then are put up in the eviction bracket, where if they get the most votes, like in Survivor, they are eliminated from the game. And the votes even are read out in Survivor style. So I typically wouldn't sign up for the first season of an org. They'll learning the video, like let's just move it off to like number 2. Like they'll know what they're doing by then. But for this, it's held by one of my good friends, VC, who I know through other orgs, and there's some other individuals in the moderation team that I know well. They obviously have run text-based orgs, so I was very confident that they're going to produce a high-quality product like this, and it's super well edited, and obviously, as you can see, it's 36 minutes long, so there's going to be a lot to break down in this video. If you do want to support them, make sure to check out the video afterwards, where you don't have my commentary, because I'm going to be pausing quite a lot to talk about my thought processes specifically. Again, it's a live game, so I'm not going to be able to articulate myself within that time, especially because it was super late on in the night, about every single thing that I'm specifically doing. So if that is something that interests you, make sure to go check out the YouTube video by itself, because again, a lot of effort has been put into it. And if you do want a chance to apply for Chaotic Reality Season 2, where they do actually have the applications out now as I'm recording this, go and check out the Discord server link. This is an exclusive thing to like YouTubers or people with like social media presences. You can just be an ordinary person that signs up and get onto the cast, and a lot of these people are just coming in as their real world selves, using their real names, and are just playing the game. So if that's something that interests you, being able to play on this kind of format, I highly suggest you go check out the link in the description, the Discord link, so you can join the server, you can get notified, you can check out the application process, all that good stuff. But yeah, so I will be featuring in this, and I will be giving my commentary. I don't really think there's anything else I need to talk about, except for the fact that this started at 12 o'clock at night for me, and it ran on for quite a few hours. So, you know, as I always say with these live works, this is the third one I've played. The first one's actually coming out on YouTube. It's a weird time frame, and it plays into some of the things that I'm not actually allowed to reveal during this season, but I'll try and give as much information as I can. This is the third one I've played, so I've kind of got a bit of experience with the live format, because it is different to text-based format. Here are all the lovely contestants. There's me. We've got Connor, another contestant who is very interested in Nino. We've got Jess, other international contestants. We've got Chase, Brandon, interested in him, and lovely person. There's Harry, who's super fun. Abby, Jonah, and Jonah's gonna do everything. It's gonna be fun to talk about as well. And yeah, I hope you're all excited. So,
hello everyone, welcome to the first season of Chaotic Reality Live Season 1. Now, I am very excited to host this. This has been weeks and weeks of plannings, but it's time we go through some basics before we go ahead and start the game. We have an 11-person cast who's going to walk out with the $50 and a holographic card, and maybe a trophy if I can talk with my guy. So
it's interesting. So you get like your own card as well, he says. I think cards are given out to all the contestants, so I'm still waiting on mine. I'll get it in the mail someday. I know shipping to Northern Ireland is a bit peculiar for people from America. If VC does look familiar, he also featured in Eradication Live Season 3, which actually inspired Chaotic Reality to bring its text-based format into its live format, where obviously they're uploading it on YouTube. The YouTube video is done very well, so thank you all for checking it out. Those who have just checked out naturally, maybe you've checked it out through my community post when I scheduled it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the live stream. I was working. that's life for you, unfortunately. And I'm doing it now on a Sunday night because I've got uni tomorrow. So, but VC obviously played in season 3, so that's why he might look a little bit familiar, and he does a fantastic job at hosting. But we'll get into more of that later on, or where we see fit, obviously.
First question is, what's going to happen? We're going to be doing something called a socialization round. So first, I want to go ahead and show you what the room limits are going to be for this round. So there's going to be no room limits at all for any of this round, except you cannot stay in the Shred quarter. So you have to leave the channel you're currently in and pick any chat you want to go into. So
I think that was a pop-up that happened with the person that's recording. But this was held on Discord. So it's really interesting how sort of these different org formats try and use the Discord elements to be able to enhance their gameplay or make it unique, and Chaotic Reality does this very well, where there's room limits on it as well.
It's going to be simple like that. You're going to have to be here in 7 minutes. So you have 7 minutes to talk to your fellow players. I want to go ahead and have you guys all unmute. You guys are all good to go and unmute now. Everyone is good to go and unmute and put their face cams on.
Oh my god.
This is
tight.
all right.
Wait, can you see me?
Alrighty.
Or is it? Oh wait, I have to allow it.
I almost forgot about the face cams. I can't believe that. That's funny. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start it. All right, everyone, it is time. I'm starting the timer now. Everyone leave the chat. Everyone leave.
Yo, what's up?
Hello.
How are you doing, people?
Hi guys.
Hello.
So they're going to speed through this, but this is just a socialization round, so they do this initially to start off, get people chatting, get them to know each other. So it's 7 minutes long, so we're not voting anyone for nomination or eviction yet. Basically, this is just we get to chat about ourselves, get to know one another, and maybe form some connections, either that be alliances, just groups, voting blocks, friendships, whatever you want to make out of it. That's what's going to happen this round. So no ill will hopefully will be brought between contestants thus far, but it's cool to see everyone chat. Obviously, in these live sorts of formats, you're only in one room and people are in other rooms, and sometimes that could be 3 or 4 different rooms. So you're only going to be able to experience a certain percentile of what's actually happening. So that's going to be really interesting. Firstly, me reacting in hindsight to this and seeing all the conversations that I wasn't a part of. But also on the night, you have to consider that every room you're not in, people could be talking about you. It's like the classic Survivor phrase, right? You're either part of the conversation or you are the conversation. So that's also something you have to consider when you're playing these live formats, is that you're not in the room, they could be talking about you. It's not like text based where there's like 24 or 48 hours between every single round where information could just naturally spill out. This is a couple minutes. We're just going like that over and over and over again. So super interesting.
Okay, who am I speaking to? Okay, you, Brendan.
Hello. Are you Anne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
So what all do you do job-wise, or students, or?
I'm a high school student. I'm a high school student.
I'm
Most probably the youngest one here, but
Wait, what age are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I am 17. I am 17.
Where are y'all from?
I'm from Canada, actually.
I'm from
here.
Oh,
Whoa.
imagine having healthcare.
Yeah,
for real.
We pay
I'm
for it in
from
taxes,
Canada.
really.
Oh man. I'm from Florida, but I know. Get the jokes out the way. But yeah, that's where I'm
Boo! No, I'm just kidding.
from. Yeah. No, boo. Yeah.
Don't worry, man. We're all in Florida. Don't worry. We're all Florida
Oh,
man
for
down
sure.
here.
Woo!
Are people really crazy down there, or are those just rumors?
Oh yeah. The rumors are crazy too. There's a guy who has an emotional support crocodile.
Slay. Oh my god. So yeah, how are you feeling about the game? This is my first time doing a live thing like this.
This is my first time ever doing one of these.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I got in because I've known Vincent for like 4 years, and he was like, "Hey, there's this cool thing I do."
So I will say that for some of these people, this is the first time that they've ever done an org. Ant in particular does really well, but it is an interesting dynamic, and it does play into this episode 1 arc.
I was like, "Good, okay."
Oh,
So this is all like so new to me. I think we're the only ones in here too.
we are the only two in here.
It is
I think we
awesome
should
when
start
you're
talking to
in the
other
room.
people. Just,
Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
It was good meeting you.
yeah, nice meeting you. I'll have your back.
Gotcha.
You have sun. At least you have sun. I'm in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I don't have my window open.
Are you European as well, Perino?
Okay, so firstly, that's really funny. Jess is Australian, okay? So, like, just the time zones are so funny because the Americans, they're playing at, like, things like 7 o'clock for them, for their PST time zone. Or no, it was EST time zone, excuse me. So, right, 7 o'clock for those Americans. You know, it's a nice evening event. Me and Panino are struggling. It starts at midnight for me. It starts at 1 a.m. for Panino, who is Italian. I kind of knew that coming into it because... Not really spoilers for Eradication, but on the season that Panino is in, he has an Italian flag, so I was like, okay, right, this guy's got to be Italian. Jess is Australian, so this is at like 9 o'clock in the morning for her. So as much as, you know, me and Panino are struggling, I'm sure it was a struggle for Jess as well, because knowing me, I would have had like 2 hours to set up, get showered, change my outfits, get prepared for the event, make sure that, because obviously you have to grab all these items to make sure that you're ready for the challenges that are going to occur. I think there's like toothbrushes and cups and paper and pens and pencils that we needed to get, so there's quite a lot. So yeah, shout out to Jess as well, because, you know, being international in an American run war gets very tough. And yes, Australia probably gets more sunlight in a day than we get here in the UK in like a month, so it was very bright on her end.
Yeah, well,
And me and
Europeans,
Pitch
what
black.
happened?
It's midnight here.
Okay, who are we
Where
working?
you from, Bandit?
I am from Northern Ireland, so UK, Ireland, whatever one you want.
Mine. Hey, look at that handsome devil. So yeah, I get my I get my character breakdown here. So it's kind of cool. You get to basically do your pre-season confessional, talk about your strategy, your breakdown for what you're planning to do coming into the show, and sort of what your philosophies are going to be. Are you going to play aggressively? Are you going to play under the radar? Are you going to play a very social-based game? So it is super interesting. I did have the red and white theme going on here, so I was better coordinated than right now, where I've just thrown things on. So this is going to be breaking down me and my thought processes coming into the game, and I did want to play a bit more of a middleman, so I didn't want to be on the top, obviously I didn't want to be on the bottom, but just kind of somewhere in the middle, and make sure that I'm like swing or have agencies, because this is a voting game. You don't want to be the target, you don't want to be on anyone's bad side, you don't want to be seen as the antagonist for anyone. You kind of want to be good with every single person, and then have that fluidity or that agency, which should get you quite far in these social strategy games. My name is Bandit, I am from Northern Ireland, I am 21, and if I do look or sound familiar, it's because I own the channel Bandit Survivor, or More Bandit Survivor commentary videos, which I think obviously is going to benefit me in this game, because I do have an understanding of social reality TV shows, of strategy, of sort of the thought processes that go into planning moves and these games. I am very involved in the org community. I have played several lives before this. I have also... So that comes up. So obviously, if you don't know, on Bandit Survivor, if this is your first time watching a Bandit video, hello, hi, good to see you. Hopefully you stick around. On my main channel, I've done like twists that Survivor should use. So they feature 5 different orgs from the org-based community, particularly my org district, which is Org Constellation, a fantastic Discord server that I was once part of when I used to run orgs. And I shout out orgs through that district, and I'm able to give them traffic. So one of them that we had was like the zombie idol, where it's an idol that degrades in power over time and people really enjoy it. It's like part of Bandit Survivor lore now. So basically on my channel, I would do series every now and again where I shout out orgs and the advantages that they bring, and say, hey Survivor, you should probably use these advantages, because Survivor 41 to 44, obviously you're experimenting with a lot of advantages. Maybe try these ones out. And quite funnily enough, 2 of the advantages on Survivor 44 were ones I actually shouted out through orgs, so I don't know, maybe they're watching. Played a lot of text-based orgs, particularly around 2019 to 2021, so I feel like this is right up my alley. Coming in, for anyone wondering, I used to own a Pokemon Survive org called Pokevivor. creative name, I know. But it ran between 2019 to 2021, and I was the host of that, and we actually got so far in 8 seasons, like we had 350 room members just starting 2021, which was quite insane. We actually overtook the org district again that I was a part of, Org C, in terms of members. There's even people nowadays that know me from Pokeviver, which is insane because like I've changed my entire bio on Discord and everything, and people keep finding me when I do live streams or podcasts with Survivor YouTubers, so that's super cool. And that's the org that I used to run. But I played orgs between particularly 2019 and 2020, and then for that, like the last year, the final few months, I kind of just decided to host just because I didn't have as much fun playing orgs and it was quite intrusive on my time, particularly when I was doing my foundation degree. So then I just stopped doing it, and obviously now, you know, I play lives, I shout out orgs on my YouTube channel, so that's kind of the direction I want to take, where it's not as intrusive on my schedule or my timetable, where obviously things can be happening all the time. It's a lot more consistent and a lot easier to do for me personally. Into this game, I have my YouTube self and I have my real world self.
Oh, by the way, are you the Survivor Bandit guy?
Yes, I do own a Survivor
YouTube. I love that edit so much. My YouTube self. Hopefully no one knows me, and then Brandon knows me. So yeah, shout out to Brandon for being a fan of the channel, recognizing me.
I love your video.
Oh, thank you. It's good to see a fan.
So he calls me, I think he calls me Survivor Bandit, so I don't know if he's watched Russell Muscle, because that's the nickname that Russell Muscle gives to me, Survivor Bandit, so I don't know, but it's super cool. Obviously seeing someone that's watched the content on the channel, it creates this kind of weird dynamic where obviously he knows I'm a YouTuber, and we have that sort of connection off the bat where, you know, he's seen me and I'm a content creator, so we've got a bit of a connection, which is good. Someone that, you know, he recognizes and I'm inclined to work with because he knows me, so we'll see how that goes. It kind of starts the downward trajectory for this episode, I will say. For me, at least.
Just to warn you, this is my first time ever doing something like this.
It's mine too, don't worry.
So, okay, I'm not alone, yes!
For a lot of people, I've never even heard of live orgs before this.
Me too.
Yeah, I knew what they were because of my brother, but this is the first time I did like a proper one.
So what I will say is that live orgs, they aren't really a thing. I would like them to be a thing. I think they should be a thing, because, you know, you have these orgs that they're text-based and they run on for 4 to 6 weeks. But lives, you can do them in 4 to 6 hours, you can upload them to YouTube, you can make lots of episodes. I was in discussion with another group that, well, the editor of another live, and they say that, you know, the 4-hour event, they're able to do about 5 minutes of editing in an hour, and they're able to upload it onto YouTube, and it seems very time efficient because obviously for the contestants it's just 4 hours, but it's 4 hours in one room, and then there's 4 hours in another room, and then maybe another room, and then you've got the challenges, so it does create actually quite a lot of content, and it's very time efficient in that aspect. So I would like to see more orgs, particularly with custom formats, try and use this live format, because I'm only aware of one other place that does lives, so hopefully that can be a genre that's expanded on in the social strategy universe, particularly on YouTube, and we can see more because they're super fun to play and people are interested.
Oh no! No! Yeah, let's do the cat.
Her name is Venus.
What's their name?
Venus.
Oh, that's such a cool name.
Hello. That's a good name for a cat.
Yeah, I love it. It's also the name of two of my favorite songs. Venus by Lady Gaga and Venus by Bananarama.
Bananarama.
Oh wow.
Valid. I have a deck.
Wait, sir, where are you guys from?
I'm from Italy.
America.
I'm also from America.
I'm also from America.
Americans, too many Americans.
Yep.
But he knows exactly like me. Like, oh, all these American accents. Apparently they sound different. I can't tell the difference between them. So, but yeah, I think it was 7 people from America, and then Jonah, who I unknowingly didn't know because he said it in obviously the other chat. He's Canadian. There's Jess from Australia. There's Panino from Italy, and then there's me, who's from Northern Ireland. So I'm Irish and British representation because it's a dual citizen place, which confuses everyone outside of the UK and Ireland. So if you're American, just know you can call me either. I don't mind. UK, British, Irish, as long as you acknowledge my existence. But it was really good diversity, actually, I thought, from like a region perspective, and considering that like 4 out of 11 people were from outside of America in an org that was obviously time zones are going to favor Americans, like the starting time, the finishing times. It was very much for American people. The hosts were Americans, so that's completely fair. You know, I don't expect anyone to change their schedule just for a minority of individuals that are from different countries. It should be ran to accommodate the most amount of people, which are going to be Americans. But considering that 4 people on this cast were from outside of America, I think that's pretty cool, personally.
This guy at the mall, we call him the mall samurai. He has like a katana. He's at the mall. He's just at yeah.
Oh my god. I want a mall samurai.
Dude,
I'm jealous.
No, you say that until he looks at you funny, points his sword at you. Then he won't be wanting the mall samurai. Hey, I'm Terry. I'm 20 years old, and I'm from a small town in Florida. So coming into this game, I just want to be a swell guy. I want people to get along with me and just be, you know, a good guy that people get along with, funny, you know, stuff like that. And that's my strategy. I just want people to like me, and if people like me, they'll work with me. If they work with me, they'll do what I want. And that's why I play it.
Okay, it looks like we have a group, and then like everybody's in the like a bigger group is in the other chat. I don't know. That makes me nervous.
Should we go over there?
No,
we could go over there.
No, we could.
We could.
Should we like be like okay? Should we like look out for each other? Like make a pact right now?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
And then we could
Steven was so much fun during this first episode, like, and just throughout the entire event, just her quips and just her energy is so good.
I guess we should all introduce each other. I'm Jace.
happening over there without us knowing about it, you know?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
They can't talk shit. I'm Faven, by the way.
Oh,
Wait, let me write these names down. Okay.
Trying to write with the marker of one hand, one on my phone. That's crazy.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go bomb the other chat now.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I'll be there in a minute.
Let's go.
It's on article little.
So here's the thing, I was in this chat, and obviously they cut it down very heavily, like this is 7 minutes of socialization. So I actually did want to join the other chat, which had Thief and Jace, Terry and Jonah. And you'll even see, if like you're analysing the 7-person room, it's kind of hard with all like the zoom-ins and the cuts, but like I was just there silent, like looking at the other room, like I could join you, but really I was part of the majority room. If I leave that majority room and go into minority room, that's already a minority that has formed a group, more than likely is very, very tight because of their small numbers, and then I'm leaving a majority room where they're just going to chat, you know, about me because I've just left the room, and that makes me an easy target. So through social pressure I wasn't able to join the small room, and just generally from a numbers perspective, we've got 7 in this room anyway, so the minority has to come towards us and integrate them into our group because there's no room limits for this round. So they have to come to us eventually to be able to say hi and, you know, be able to chat to the majority of the cast. Otherwise, they're going to know 3 other people, which is great, but we're going to know 6 other people. So they eventually do come in.
A while ago of a Florida man that powered his home with a nuclear bomb for like 30 years.
People. Hi, Faven. Hi, Jonah.
Hi.
Hello, people.
Nice to meet y'all.
Hello, people.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, the sun is just as bad over.
Hi, Jace. Hi, Terry.
Do you guys, since we're all in the same room, do you guys want to do like introductions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do we want to go in alphabetical order? So
Let's just do that, but make them fast because I'm not sure how much time we have.
I said my piece. I'm just Ant.
I'm Bandit. I'm
Wearing an
21.
expert
Super cool to be here.
So I think Evie was having issues speaking, so I just decided, you know what, I'll just talk, because I did have a phone with a timer that was going by, and I was like, we're like hitting 6 minutes on this timer. We've only got 7 minutes for the socialization round, and I did want everyone to talk, so that's why I decided to go on ahead, and then hopefully Evie will be able to speak. But I will say I've never felt so old being 21. Obviously, that's why I preface this saying that it's a Discord event, so you're going to have a bit of a younger age range. Obviously, you think about Discord, you think about your teen gamers. Not that everyone that uses Discord is a teen gamer, but that's sort of like the demographic that's like portrayed through Discord. Is like, you know, you have these people and they go out and they play games on Discord and they're in their teens usually. But yeah, 21, being the oldest person on the cast, joint oldest with Feven, who's going to get their introduction. Man, we are getting wheeled into the retirement home. We are. We are bones at this point.
Oh, I'm 17.
It's Feven 17, or Evie 17.
Wait.
I'm 17, sorry. Here's the
Alright. I'm Avi, I'm 18, and I'm a college student.
Me too.
Oh, I already introduced myself, so it's over to this man here.
Yeah, I'm Brendan. It's Brittany.
Connor. I'm Connor. I'm 16 and I'm a high school student.
Hi everyone, I'm Faven. I'm 21 and I'm a college student.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jace Joseph. I am 20. Nice to meet all of you.
So I felt really close up on Jace's face. I felt really bad that I didn't say about my jobs, because I felt like that was a good opportunity to try and get people interested in me in the real world. Because for anyone that doesn't know, I'm a nursery practitioner in the real world. Well, I do that over the summer, which is when this event took place. So I feel like that interests people, because the amount of men that do nursery work is very, very small. Like, it's one of the lowest percentiles in terms of male to female ratios in just any workplace and in any sector. Even other jobs that are considered female orientated, like hairdressing or nursing, and like you see this on government documents even, they have higher percentages of males that are in their work. So nursery is one of the lowest, if not the lowest, sectors in terms of the gender imbalance. So I feel like when I announce that to people, they get super interested how I work with like toddlers and preschoolers and after schoolers, and then that means that if anyone does youth work themselves, or maybe if they have a child, or if they're really interested in working with children, that opens up conversations. So that is a bit of a regret that I didn't say that I did nursery practitioner work, or that I did sport coaching for young children, which I also do over the summer. But, you know, what are you going to do?
I don't know if it's okay. Hi, my name's Jess. I'm 19. And I work in retail.
So I kind of knew Jess coming into this. She actually got me interested in Chaotic Reality. She told me about it. I didn't know if she would be on the cast, because she was saying that she'd be very busy with work. So it was a nice surprise to see her on the cast. And I didn't really know what was going to happen, if we were going to work together or not, but it was good to have a familiar face that I had chatted to previously, maybe like 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks before this event. We just started chatting, and, you know, obviously with her being Australian and me being the UK, like, I'm 9 hours behind her, so we would only be sending snaps like 1 or 2 times a day to each other. But she got me interested in Chaotic Reality, so shout out to Jess, because I wouldn't know about the org if it wasn't for her. Click the play button. Go. There we are.
Hi, my name is Jonah. I'm 19 years old and I'm unemployed. I don't work, but I don't have to do anything, but I'm broke, so yeah.
That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I'm 16. I don't have a job.
Just say you're in between jobs.
I'm Panino, I'm 17, I'm from Italy, and it's 1:13 a.m. I'm in my pajamas to emphasize that.
You'll be fine, don't worry.
So a fun fact, Panino says he's in his pajamas. I literally, there's like this recording area, and then about 6 feet off to the left, there is a computer chair, and I have my pajamas sitting on it, ready to go to bed after this org ends for me. So it's either I get eliminated pre-jury, in which case, you know, I'm going to bed around 2 or 3 in the morning. Still not great, but, you know, it's some sort of time, or else I'm in it for the long haul, because obviously if you make it to the jury phase, you're a juror, you have to make it to the end of the game, even if you're not in the game, and then if you're not in the jury, then you're in the final 2. So either way, you're in the end game. So I was preparing for a long night, and it's either win-win for me. I go to bed at a half-decent time, or else, you know, I make it far in an org.
You'll be fine.
I think we're getting through now.
Oh, we're going back.
Are they kidnapping?
Alrighty. So it's time. Time's up. So let's go ahead and get into our.
Also, I think that was actually, now that I think about it, I think they actually made an Among Us sound in the actual event. I don't think that was edited in. Obviously, the Among Us character was, but I don't think the sound was. I think one of the moderators actually played an Among Us imposter sound when we joined the chat.
First challenge. The first immunity challenge. The amount of players that can be immune from this is going to be 3 people, so only 3 of you will be safe. So guys, it's time to get into our first competition. I call this competition 64 Shuffle. What? You guys will need no materials but your pen and paper. The point of this competition is to find out where is the game I want you to find. So first, I'm going to show you these games and memorize it in your head, memorize what it looks like, and memorize where I'm going to put it. It's Pokemon Snap. You are not allowed to write it down. Everyone have their hands in the air if you can. Pokemon Snap. Already?
Yeah.
Perfect Dark. Mickey Speedway, USA. Full Racket 2. And lastly, Command and Conquer. Alrighty. Since you guys now see every single game, right? I am going to now flip them around. So hopefully you remember where they were. Already, you guys are now allowed to get your pen and paper.
Okay, so firstly, I find it so funny that one of them was a different color, so like we knew where that one was gonna be. But I'll be honest, I had names in my head, he flipped them and I forgot them. So I was just trying to like spitball it, to be honest.
Paper. So I am now going to shuffle these games around, and whenever I grab a game, I want you to write it down and then put your hands up. And then, whenever I say reveal, I want you to flip the piece of paper around and show me the answer. Is that absolutely clear to anyone? And does anyone have any questions? And one more important thing. Make sure you're right, because if you're incorrect, you are completely out of the game. Not out of the game, whoops, out of the competition. You're completely out of the competition, and you cannot win immunity. The last 3 people here will win immunity, and let's say that everyone gets out on 1 round or something like that, then no one will win immunity. Does everyone understand? Alright, any questions? Alrighty, it is time to begin the competition. It's time to shuffle. What game is this? So, is everyone good to go?
Yep.
Alrighty, reveal. Alright. Well, this is gonna be really funny. No one guessed the correct answer. No one is immune for the entire first round. There's no round. This is hilarious. Oh my god. Every single person is...
Oh, yeah, they showed it. I'm just there, just like, oh my goodness. We all didn't get it right. The top 3 people got to win immunity for this round, and none of us got it. It was literally the first round of the game, none of us were immune, and there were 3 like immunity necklaces that could have been given away, and none of us had them, so that was pretty funny. I think everyone was like me, and they just forgot half the games. I saw so many Pokemon Snaps. I think that's because most of us only remember Pokemon Snap, to be honest.
Wrong game. Who said that? The riot.
Well, that lasted so long. Everyone's
Good luck.
11-person riot. Eradication could never.
I guess it's time to move on to the nomination phase. The nomination phase room limits are going to be, the shred zone is going to be 5 people. Document disposal will only allow 4 people. The confidentiality...
So this is really interesting, I called it VC, sorry, because the other live format, Eradication, they do it where the rooms are all the same sizes. So for an 11-person cast, it would probably be 4 rooms of 4. So you can join the first room that has a room limit of 4, second room that has a room limit of 4, third room that has a room limit of 4, or obviously the fourth room that has a room limit of 4, to keep everything fair. This one's different. You can join... You can't join the Shred Quarters, which is like the main room that VC's in right now. You have to leave the room. You can't chat there. You can't chat any game. That's why you have to immediately leave. So the Shred Zone is the one where So for all these rooms don't have majority, and that's because obviously you don't want majority to be in any room because they can just decide to have a majority decision in that room. So every single one of these rooms individually has a minority. So 5 is a minority of 11, 4 is a minority of 11, etc. But you can increase your odds and your chances of talking to people if you go into the higher up rooms. But of course they're going to be the more sought after rooms. So the Shred Zone, it contains 5 people, but only 5 people can go into it. Document Disposal, there's 4 people in it, but only 4 people. So these room limits make it quite interesting. You have to jump out of rooms quite a lot to maybe let someone else in, or to be able to talk to other people to make sure your name isn't being circulated out there. So yeah, it's definitely a fun aspect of these lives. Chaotic Reality does it as well, and it's very good at being able to pressure people and ensure that you're only talking to a minority of individuals and that a consensus vote can't be made within a room.
Reality Corner is only going to allow 3 people, and the Craft Chamber is only going to allow 2 people. Alrighty, you guys, you're going to only have 5 minutes to discuss these nominations. So, let's get ready for Blitzkrieg. Everyone, in 3, 2, 1.
Well, who do you want to nominate?
Alright, so we got to nominate. So, the easiest way to do this is we don't know enough about anyone. So, the best way to do this is to just choose someone without making it personal.
Okay, we can't let Jonah.
Look at the
Jonah, I will literally fight for you.
Thank you.
So for anyone that doesn't understand Eradication, Season 3, which VC played in, Jonah was first eliminated in. So there's a running theme that I had with Jonah where I was like, Jonah, if I see you in an org, I will literally fight for you. I will put my life on the line. I will not let you be first boot. So that's what's coming into fruition here, is me saying to Jonah, we're good. You're not being first boot. We're not putting your name out there. So it is quite interesting. As Jace says, we don't actually know anything about each other. Like, we had a 7-minute socialization round and that was it. And it is very similar to the movie The Circle, which is one of my favourite movies. It came out in 2015, where it's like this game where people are just kind of voting and they're kind of going off vibes at the start, and then very quickly it becomes a social strategy game where people are trying to make voting blocks and factions, and there's swing votes, and people are trying to decide who's the biggest targets and get them out because of it. So this feels like one of those games where it's going to start off slow and then very quickly we're going to have an overturn, and there's going to be some very strategic gameplay. I have brought this up with the mods. Obviously, since it's the first season, they were like, any feedback is appreciated about the format, any changes. I do feel like there is the potential in a hypothetical world that prejudice or discrimination could come up if you're trying to judge people just off the basis of, vibes or whatever in the very first round. If you don't have actually any conflict manufactured between individuals, then that could be a bit of an issue. So, I was saying, like, maybe, like the coconut chop challenge that happens in Survivor, where people actively have to chop each other, and then that causes conflict because, you mark someone and you took away their opportunity of immunity. That could be quite interesting. But obviously, there's a great vetting process. The application process is fun. They make sure that they have very strong contestants, so it's not a huge concern of mine that anyone's going to act out of malice or prejudice, but obviously in a hypothetical, theoretical world, it could happen where you have someone, like in the game The Circle, act on the basis of ageism. That's what happens very early on in The Circle, as they say, let's get rid of all the old people. So someone could, say, oh, well, this person's 30 and we're all 20 and below, let's get rid of them. So it's kind of picking someone out because of equality, or as you'll see, because of something that wasn't necessarily in their control, which is why they're getting a target put on them and being put up for eviction. So maybe they might try and work on that for season 2. That's something that I've been saying to them about, but I'm sure they'll have their own ideas.
I'm so happy to see you here.
Oh, I'm so happy.
What are we?
What are we? Can we just agree on someone? Just because, like, the nomination and the eviction is just gonna kind of be the same. And
because in the competition we just did, they didn't even put down an answer. They just said they lost.
Who was it? Sorry.
AVIE.
I was thinking AV or Terry, because for me, Terry was just lapsing in and out of connection. So it's just, we don't have much to go off here, so...
No, we don't. So I
Do
mean...
you have any ideas?
What do you guys think we should put in nomination? Because I'm not 100% sure.
I don't really care.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe Terry. I don't know. Not that I have anything against him, I just haven't really spoken to him. So I don't know. I'm not saying I'm like, you know.
Yeah. At this point, we can't really make anything personal. We just gotta do what we gotta do. So if we think we gotta vote Terry, we gotta vote Terry.
Should get Bandit in nomination since he's like, hasn't he hosted stuff like this before?
I think so, yeah.
So Bandit knows a lot of stuff, so I feel like we should put him up for a nomination.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. He seems like a really big threat.
He seems like a really big threat for us. Since he's done this a lot. So, okay. Who else has done something like this before?
It's just that AV like didn't even try. At least everyone else put down an answer.
Yeah. You know what? I think the good idea for right now. Wait. Okay. A good idea for right now would be actually to put, in the sense, we. Two of us put AV, two of us put Terry, and essentially that, since that ensures that they'll be nominated, essentially it's going to be up to the cast to see who they want out.
It would be like the one person that's never done this before is on nomination. That'd be hilarious.
Do we know who we're nominating?
I can't.
Where do you see here how in their room they have 5? And how in my room we only have 4. It's because we went into the disposal room, whereas they went into, I think it's the shred room, where they have 5 people, so they get more people in their room because they're the highest Discord channel. So it is quite interesting. It did float the idea by Eradication of maybe doing different Discord rooms, because it does create quite unique dynamics. But they both have their positives and negatives, having the exact same numbers and different numbers. And yeah, I get a target on my back. It was so interesting because throughout this episode, as I was playing, I was like, how does Connor know me? Because I was like, does he know me through the YouTube channel? Or has he played an org with me before, like a text-based org? Or has he played Pokeviver, the server that I used to run like 3 years ago? So through this entire thing, I was like, how does Connor know me?
Do we nominate people?
Oh, that's true. We're doing
I think that's a little later.
Who are we? Do we have any ideas of who we're gonna do?
I'm on my Sandra Diaz Twine era. Anyone but me.
That was the title.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for. I think we should put Bandit up. I said it earlier, but it's because he like looks stuff like this, and he could be a big threat.
Connor was gunning hard for me, like. I heard that Connor was going after me, but like every single time he was like, Bandit, we gotta get Bandit. Fair enough to him, you know. Good for him.
We could. I don't really know nobody, so it doesn't really matter too much.
No, because Terry didn't say anything.
Because the thing is about, especially this type of org where you're voting for someone where you don't actually have anything to go off. A lot of people are like, oh, well, like, we'll try and put the bait out, but like, oh, I didn't mean it, but like, you know, do you want to do this person? We could do this person. So if you go out there and you say, I want to do this person, I want to do this name, then a lot of people will just latch onto it and they'll do it, and then that'll be a name out there that a lot of people can get behind, because obviously you're target number 1, you threw out the name, so people feel a lot more like they can hide behind you and use you as a shield because you were the instigator, and a lot of people are just very willing to latch on to something because they're not taking the fall. It's the first round, no one wants to make enemies, so it was a good strategy by Connor to be able to just say, no, we're doing Bandit, let's go.
thing, and the AV just gave up on life.
The two of us want to split up and go into like craft chamber just so that we can get like the word out there about Terry or Evie.
I'm just waiting for those rooms to not be full. So we can. Surely someone's gonna move out of the rooms. Like, oh wait, maybe this is the one that can only have 3 people.
I feel bad for Jace because it's obviously a funny moment. He's having technical difficulties. He's like trying to like, you know, make sure that he's able to process everything that's happening on Discord, and maybe like his sound or something messed up. But it's just funny that Jess is like there trying to talk, and Jace isn't filling the silence, so Jess constantly has to keep speaking. I feel like we've all been on first dates where like you're talking and then they're not saying anything back and they're just staring, so you have to keep on talking. That's the kind of memories that brings back anyway, so it's just funny.
Let's go in the four people. Oh no. I'm so mad.
Oh.
I'm so mad.
Did they say anything?
Yeah, we decided we're gonna do Terry.
Yeah, we were talking about Terry as well as an option.
So here's the thing. So in our original room, it was Ant and Jonah who were going to vote for Avi because Ant threw out Avi. So I think Panina was like, okay, you know, you want to do Avi? That's all right. You two go into the eviction. Well, you two go nominate them and put them up into the eviction bracket. Me and Bandit will do Terry. For me, I was like, no, I'm not doing Terry, because I know from this situation that Terry's at least going to receive 1 vote from Panino, especially now that Jess said that her and Jace were going to be doing Terry. Like, I need to try and spread out the nominations as much as I can to be able to ensure that I have a higher probability of surviving for the next round. So if you know that someone's putting a vote on Terry, or just any person in general, it's very advantageous to be able to throw a rogue vote on someone, because nomination and eviction are very different types of games. Obviously, nomination, as we say, people are a bit more defensive. They're saying, I don't mind, just long as it's not me, anybody but me, the episode title. Whereas eviction is a bit more aggressive. You know, if you're especially on the line, you're like, yes, let's do this person. I want to get out this person because of X, Y, and Z. So I want to increase my odds of survival by just having more people out there that we can throw out as options. So I want to put down Ant as a name, and I do end up putting it down Ant as a name for 2 reasons. So firstly, number 1, I wanted someone from my original room to be able to throw under the bus if I was thrown under the bus by another person, so that I could say, oh, like, Ant wanted you out. They were initiating this entire thing behind your back. How about we get them out? And try and have a target that supersedes me from my original room, in case it's a situation where the people that were in Shredder try to put a target on one of us 4 in disposal, and then I can try and offset that by instead making them go for the other disposable person. Not disposable person, I mean disposal person. Ant, you're not disposable, I love you. But secondly, it was also advantageous down the line. If Ant survives this round, if I am not heavily targeted and I don't see incentive in throwing Ant under the bus, then I can always preserve that for later rounds, and I could say, Ant, I think this person may put your name down round 1 because they're doing this round, and kind of try and have that earworm, and it just generates paranoia in general. It's something that I can always pick up and try and get Ant on my side with. Like, if they're swaying and saying, oh, I don't know, then I could say, hey Ant, I heard that someone was considering putting your name down this round. I think they may have put you up for a nomination last time. Do you want to get rid of them? And that's a lot more of a fuller argument than someone is going to be able to give, even though it is generated off a lie. So I'm going to be putting Ant's name down for those main reasons. Increasing the amount of people that are out there, being able to throw someone under the bus from my original room if needed as a safety net, and also being able to have an extra sort of tripwire later on in the game to be able to help me in more precarious situations.
Okay, good. Because I was like,
We
I
were
don't know.
talking about Terry as well.
Okay, me and Jace, I think. I don't know. I just talked to him. We were like, and I was like, oh, we should just do Terry because I don't know who to do, and I feel.
And I feel like people were a bit unsure about the format, because like, we should be spreading our votes. We should be trying to get as many people as possible, particularly not from our room, out there, because the more options you have, the better. And then that means that you know, if it's you and 2 other people that are put up for eviction in the very first round, that's just mathematically a 1 in 3 chance of you being eliminated. If you can spread your votes to 6 or 7 people, then that's a 1 in 6 or a 1 in 7 chance mathematically. And because the nominations aren't revealed who they're casted by, then that means that it's so advantageous to do it. The only issue is if everyone does it and no one sticks the initial target in the nomination bracket, it could create an issue. But considering there was 4 people that I knew would be voting for Terry, technically 3 if you remove me, like, someone had to vote for Terry, so I have to take mileage out of this round to be able to vote for someone else.
I feel a bit bad because I haven't actually spoken to him yet. I don't know.
This round's so difficult, like, but it's good that, like,
No, it's not your fault. Just Terry doesn't talk. That's all.
But it's good that Jace is in that upper room, so that he's going to be talking to Jonah and Ant. Those were individuals that were kind of thinking Terry as well.
Okay, basically, long story short, I think the group that I was in was talking about potentially nominating Bandit because he's played these before.
So it's so funny because I've played 2 live works before this, and that's it. So I'm really not at an advantage.
Okay.
I don't know.
We were talking about
Avi and Terry.
Yeah, those are the 2 names that
Pop up the
we were
most.
talking about.
Okay, I mean, yeah, personally, I don't really like doing people because they've played before, because, I feel weird saying it, because, I've played these kinds of games before, and I'm like...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
When you were in that big group, what was everyone?
Yeah, everyone was nice enough. I mean,
That's the thing as well, is that Connor's argument, it was very decisively for me, but the reasoning was kind of for people to be able to take their meaning out of it. So when Connor says we had to get out Bandit, he's very experienced in orgs, people are saying, well, I've played 20 text-based orgs before this, I'm experienced, so you're going to come after me. So it kind of creates this thing that because he wasn't specific on why he was targeting me, pinpointing, whatever, specifically about me, a lot of people can take what Connor said and apply it to themselves and be able to have this worry and paranoia about what happens if it gets put on them in later rounds. So, yeah.
I mean, the issue is it's so early into the game, but no, they were fine, I don't see any problems with them.
I do know, for you 2, I'm not nominating either of you. You're good.
I've played 2 of these games before, but both times I was the first one eliminated, so I'm just trying to survive round 1. Just please.
I wasn't.
Keep me around.
I was in this show before, but I was in season 2. So I made it halfway through it, and then I was voted off.
I've only done 2 of these games, and both times I was the first one out. So just keep me around, please.
I feel so bad for Jonah. I feel so bad for him.
Oh, I think they're kidnapping us.
Before we get into the submission, here's how it's going to work for this season. You're going to have... I'm not going to restart the timer. You're going to have 1 minute to submit your vote in your interview channel. Does everyone know where their interview channels are?
Isn't that in our DM?
Yes, into our DM interview channel. So everyone is going to submit their vote here on who they want nominated. Remember, one player, all a player needs for nomination is just 1 vote, okay? So if you vote a player, especially since no one's immune, they are nominated. All right? Alrighty, I'm starting the timer. You guys are allowed to discuss here as well. You are now allowed to leave here. You have 1 minute to put in your submissions. And if you don't put it in, you nominate yourself. I'll be nice this round though, since you guys are a little bit new if you guys slip up. I have the votes. So, let's get into it. I'm just leading you guys on. Alrighty, guys. So I have all the player cards right here. The first player nominated for elimination to be possibly shredded is Terry. The second player, there's another one. The second player to be nominated for elimination is Brendan. No! Who flipped? Who flipped?
No!
So that's really interesting that Brandon got nominated by Terry because they were in the original room. So I wonder if Terry was trying to do a similar thing to me.
The third player to be nominated for elimination is Avi. The fourth player is Bandit.
So yeah, I got got 3 votes there. So it was a bit scary.
And lastly, the fifth player to be nominated for elimination is Ant. The sixth person nominated is...
So here's the thing. So VC talks about this afterwards, at the very end of it. He says that there was like 15 seconds in the round where Connor wasn't realised as a name and he had to drag everyone back in and then say, oh, by the way, there was actually a 6th nomination. Thank you to Brendan, firstly, for that. But it was a bit of a panic for me because, well, we'll see later on, but just know for like the first like 20 seconds or so, like Connor wasn't even an option for us. It was me, Terry, Aunt Avi, and who else was the other one that was put up for nomination? Don't know, but yeah, it was just us 5. So I was really worried.
Connor. So I think it's time we discuss this, right? What happened? All right. So let's go ahead and get into
Brandon. Forgot
how much time you'll have. Hey, I don't want to restart that timer. Go back. Alrighty, you guys will have 6 minutes to discuss who the shred. Is everyone ready?
In this room?
Oh, no, you discuss anywhere. You discuss anywhere in your room limits. All right, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go.
Hey,
Hello.
I don't know who nominated me, but
Okay.
like
Yeah, I nominated Bandit.
Bandit choice, honestly.
So if you're wondering, Panino had like connection issues, so that was probably just a genuine reaction where like just I think what happened was maybe the sound footage was like very quick and then he just heard Bandit and he was like what happened? But it's just so funny that like Panino's reaction was like, wait, Bandit was an option? When was Bandit an option?
Because Bandit said he has had experience. I feel like people are going to have any experience.
Yes. I think we should just pick someone to vote. I don't want to go. You don't want to go. Like...
Yeah, I was thinking we get out Bandit because he's done
shock horror. Yeah,
done stuff like this before. I've already told some other people since he's like experienced, and I feel like that'd be a threat later on. Because he probably.
I actually don't even know if I would be in the top 3 of experience in here because obviously I chat a lot about orgs and I played 2 lives before this, but I haven't played text-based orgs in like over 2 years at this point, nearly 3. So I feel like there's a lot more people that would be experienced, particularly in the org realm, comparative to me. But you know, it's a good sticking point. It's a good argument to try and make to get me out.
Probably he'll probably be really good at doing some of the challenges.
Yeah. I don't think you two want to be locked into a war of just going after each other.
Bandit, Connor is throwing you under the bus. So
Yes, so this was
I heard
Brandon, I think, that told me this. And this was like a shock to me because like I was like, how did I get votes at the first round? Maybe it was just a rogue vote, but it turns out that like Connor was like actually trying to like initiate this revolution and rebellion against me. So unfortunately Discord stops here, but my face was pretty much like this. I was like, oh dear, like head in my hands, like really, did this really happen? So I just I was not having a fun time. Well, I was having a fun time, but yeah, I was just like, oh dear, I could actually be the first boot in this org. But it was good that the org came around this time. A lot was going on around the time, just coming up to this org. That made me very stressed. I was very down on it. So when you have an org that you can look forward to, and something that you're very passionate about, like myself with orgs, it was good to be able to take myself out of that negative headspace and focus on this org. So thank you again for casting me for season 1. I felt like I needed it.
I've said nothing to him.
We already told
Like-
him.
He hasn't said, he's like, if you've played an org before, you're automatically like had an advantage.
So it's like, I didn't know if like he watches the YouTube videos and he was like, hey, he does this thing where he shouts out orgs, we gotta get him out.
And like you're automatically gonna do good.
Like, I don't like that.
It's because I shout out
tried
orgs
to
on my
use-
YouTube channel. Like, that's it.
It's bad.
Yeah.
That's what. That's
Well,
it.
I'm an org fiend. I play so many of them.
Should we,
I was like,
should we just go for Connor then? Or
Yeah, I
Connor's
think
not-
so.
Yeah, so people are telling me, so I feel like very comfortable telling people, yeah, like let's do Connor, because they're coming up and they're telling me that Connor is organising this revolution. Obviously Avi was very upset at the fact that they were targeting me specifically just because I played an org before. Coming into this round I was like, maybe we could do Terry, particularly because I think this skips the first few seconds, but basically at the start I was told like Connor was like voting me out, and I was like, oh dear, like I really wish that Connor was up for eviction, but he's not. And then we get dragged back into the main chat and VC's like, I missed someone else, a sixth person, Connor, and I was like, bam, gotta get my guy out. So yeah,
Like, I'm fine with that. I
Because I
voted
don't
to nominate him.
Because like I've played 2 of these live games before too, and if he's like throwing people's names out to like try to get them as targets, that makes me nervous too, right? So like,
and like here's the thing, okay, right, gonna have to blow my cover here, I have played an Eradication, so you'll be seeing that shortly, but it's kind of funny, this is the third org I've played, but it's the first one that's coming out on YouTube, so we'll react to the other ones when they come out. But I have played an Eradication, and obviously not the seasons that these contestants have played on, but like people like Jonah, Jess, Panino, Faven, they've played an Eradication, and they're like, well, why is he getting picked out because of an org experience?
I'm down to shred
feel
him. What we're supposed to say.
Because most of the people in here haven't done too much stuff like this. I haven't.
Yeah.
This is my first time.
Yeah, I've never done like a video speed thing. I'm gonna go talk to some other people though.
And I feel like this is also a thing that like Connor was also just talking to like people that weren't the consensus of the group. Like he was talking to like Terry and Ant that haven't played orgs before, and then obviously there's like me, Avi, Jonah, Faven, Jess, Panino, so on, that have played orgs. So that like that's the majority right there that I've just listed. So
When I was sort of like entertaining the idea because I knew he
No
was
problem.
gonna like nominate you. I was just
100%.
like, okay.
I understand 100% what Brendan is saying, that like you're locked in a room with someone. Obviously Connor was going like, we got to get out Bandit, we got to get out Bandit. It would be asinine for Brendan to be like, no, I don't want to do that. So obviously, you know, you're just there to agree, and I 100% understood Brendan, and you know, I didn't see that as betrayal or anything negative that he was doing towards me. You know, that's how, you know, you play orgs as well, is that you have to very quickly adapt, and you have to understand that, you know, like these situations are going to happen where maybe someone did throw out your name, but it was like self-preservation, or is a misunderstanding, or is just to try and be agreeable to some individual. Instantly right off the bat I was like, okay, I get what you're doing, no worries whatsoever. And Brendan was actually the person that nominated Connor, so shout out to him if anything.
Understand that completely, yeah, no problem. So we're cool, right? Go with Connor, are we? Or...
We're cool, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was like, are we cool doing Connor? Everyone was like, yeah. We had a good conversation before that. I was confident to dip the room because I see it as now me versus Connor. So I have to try and get more mileage than Connor in terms of going into different rooms, being able to chat to people, and pull swing votes onto my side and give them a bit of a convincing argument as to why they should, you know, come to me. And that's why I went into the 5-person room immediately. You see, I have 5 people in my room. I immediately went into that room because I wanted to get, well, the majority of the minority, if that makes sense, of these room limits involved in this. Also, I forgot to say, one of the orgs that I shout out on my channel is Goldviver, from the most recent org video that I did, org twists that Survivor should use. Luca, who is a moderator in Chaotic Reality, is also alumni, however you say that word, in Goldviver, so shout out to him. He was super excited to have his org featured, well, an org that he helps out with, featured on my channel, and I did my interview with him, so it was cool because, you know, he's a fan of the channel, and he was like, okay, that's cool, you know, and I was obviously talking about my YouTube channel, and he was like, yeah, I get you 100%, so it made my interview process flow a lot easier because I was chatting to someone that is a lot more understanding of my background and of my YouTube channel, so, and I don't know, it's just like chatting to a friend basically, so that was great. And Joe was super cool as well. I haven't been able to experience any sort of work with Joe, but seems like a cool dude. All the more seem cool.
I can't convince you guys not to vote for me, but I can convince you guys to.
Yeah, that's what I did. Whoever I was stuck with, I was just like, listen, we've got to trust each other on this.
Yeah. That's the scary part about all of this.
Scoot both times. So when I heard I was safe, I'm like, holy fuck, I survived the first round.
Yeah, you're good.
You're safe, but dude, I wish I was safe, man. That'd be sick.
Yeah, same.
Oh, hello.
Like huge weight off my shoulders.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really wants to be first boot.
No, it's
no.
Like no one wants to be the first boot.
Not again.
Okay,
Not
I'm gonna
again.
try and talk in other channels because I'm not that social and I need to be more social.
I'm probably gonna go.
If you guys vote to save me, thank you very much. And
Vote to save me too. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I know we.
Yeah, I was on my.
Partly. Feven, please, Feven, can we please do?
I was about to say I'm doing Connor. I'm doing him.
Feven, I love you. Feven, I love you.
Well, I genuinely was like, what the fuck are you talking? I played, I know you played around.
So you have to understand, I wasn't in that corner room initially. I have no understanding what was said about me. I'm just like, this guy's after me, and he's gunning hard for me. So if Evan's just giving me all this information, I'm like, okay, right. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Because I know you from Tough, of course. But
Yeah.
that's so messed
Shout out
up
to
that his
Tough.
reasoning was just bullshit. So
Well,
yeah, don't worry.
What did he say? Was it did he see Eradication or?
No, he's like, oh, he owns one of these servers. He has a YouTube channel. He knows. It's not fair to go off that.
It's because of my YouTube channel. I shout out smaller orgs to give them traffic and advertisement, but I don't play in them.
Shout out to the 15 works that I have shouted out on the YouTube channel. We'll need to do another one. I'm looking forward to it. There we are.
I see.
So yeah, but I'm so glad that you're doing Connor.
Yeah.
I'm happy to play with you as well, Feven, because I loved you during season 6.
When season 6 comes out, you will absolutely love Feven. She will make your heart melt. And fantastic person. Absolutely adore Feven. Especially now after the season. We chatted so much. When you feel like you and a person understand each other and you're able to just chat about really any topic. That's me and Feven outside of a chaotic reality. We get on so well. Such a fantastic person. All the positives in the world I will say about Feven. Can't say anything negative about them. So yeah, fantastic person.
And you got robbed.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can't wait.
Hi, Connor.
Hello.
Sorry for that moment of autism.
Don't worry, you're fine.
Yeah, you said you were Bandit, right?
Yeah, I feel like Bandit should be gone.
Let me talk to Jess really quick.
No problem, you're going ahead, Feven, but good chat.
Yeah.
And now we meet again.
I'm just curious. I'm not even mad at the people who nominated me. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't know who nominated me either. Honestly, I'm
sorry, Ant. I want to make it known it wasn't because of any negatives that I nominated Ant. I absolutely adore them as a person. I think they are such an incredible human being. But it's self-preservation and it's advantageous for me to do what I did.
Bryce, if I get through this round, I'm gonna be surprised. That would be really funny.
Connor, you're so nice, bro. You're so chill.
Yeah. Yeah, we all just need to vote for Bandit.
It's just looking at Panino's face, he's just like, oh dear. What do I do?
We all just need to vote Bandit. We can overwhelm by majority.
Yeah, no, I've been telling everyone to vote Bandit because doesn't he have his own YouTube channel?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Yes, and subscribe. I have 2 YouTube channels actually. Subscribe to both of them.
Does this?
Yeah, that's why I'm he's the biggest threat here. He's done all this before.
Yeah, I've heard Connor.
Yeah, same.
Nathaniel, I don't know if you watched the videos. Russell Muscle, I think you do watch the second channel videos. If either of you guys apply for Chaotic Reality, grow a beard, put on a hoodie, dye your hair, change your name legally. just do not come in with any trace of your YouTube self.
Yeah.
Which I'm very down, because, like I said, I'm in my Sandra Diaz Swine era. Anyone but me.
So this was like a very core group here, actually, of Brendan, Feven, and Jess. They were kind of like the deciders of this round, and I felt very good about it because Jess and me, we had a good conversation. And granted, not big group, but you know, I feel like me and Jess have a pretty positive relationship. Brendan, obviously, you know, he was the person that initially came to me, and he was like, Connor wants you out, and he knows me well, so I felt good about that. And then literally me and Faven, probably about 15 seconds before she joins this chat, we're having a conversation about how we need to get out Connor because what he's doing just is a bit sort of metagamey. Again, it's not intentional, but it kind of can come off as metagaming from sort of a very basic standpoint, not taking into consideration that Connor hasn't done an org before, especially a live org. I feel like live orgs are like a step above text-based orgs because they're so fast, and you kind of need to have that org experience to know all the ins and outs of what to happen and play at a lot more of a slower pace to understand the groundwork of how to play an org. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyone but me. I love that.
Okay.
Who's this?
Is he still the person that we're doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with doing him. Like he seems like a nice person, but immediately when he was like, "Oh, if you do org, you're at an advantage," and like it's like I'm new, and I'm like, you can't use the fact that you're new to throw people under the bus.
Okay, so I'm chilling here with my Ice Valley water, and it's because in orgs, particularly live orgs, it is so time sensitive. Like, we literally have about 5 minutes in this round, so I know that when I go to someone and I ask them, are you okay with doing this person, there's two reactions they can give. They can that are positives. They can either say yes, or they can say yes and here's the reason why. Yes and here's the reason why is a far better and more reassuring thing, because they're taking the time out to be able to communicate with you the reason as to why they want to eliminate a person. And it's just a lot more unlikely that a person that is truthfully wanting a person out will dedicate that amount of time to be able to give you firstly a pitch as to why they're going out, an explanation, and also like, again, they could be spending that time talking to other people, talking to swing voters, trying to set up their mid to late game, and they instead are telling you this is why we need to get out of this person for this and this reason. So what Avi was telling me was very comforting. So it felt very good to be able to, know that I have them on side, and Jonah as well. And hopefully that translates to Terry as well, who I didn't have the opportunity to chat to. I was trying to jump into rooms. It's a balancing act. It's like jumping into different rooms to be able to talk to different people, getting into different rooms to talk to different people, but still getting mileage out of those conversations by spending a good chunk of time in each room so that people feel very confident with what I'm pitching.
Yeah, like it's the first fucking round, dude. Chill out, like
right.
It just seems like a bit of like an out of the game reason as well, because I think he like have a YouTube channel that he watches, and I shout at words.
Just because like you're known to like put videos about doing orgs, like you can't use that against someone.
Yeah. And I don't play the orgs, I just shout them out, but I'm so glad that you all understand.
Dude, the thing is, like, I like him. Like, I think he's a nice guy, but you just can't be metagaming, dude.
You're iconic.
Yeah, can we have an alliance called It's Britney Bitch? Well, we gotta have like a Britney name, because we love her in this chat room. I don't know.
I was gonna say something to do with toxic, but that's probably a bit basic.
I'd also like to say, Feven has sent me a Snapchat 30 minutes ago. This review has also taken a lot longer than I thought it would, so let's move on.
Well, we're not toxic.
Right.
I'll bounce around.
I'm so nervous.
Yeah, I've been trying to get into other channels, but they're like all of them are full.
Yeah, I feel like I was targeted because it's my first time.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my first time as well.
Yeah, I think that's why we were kind of...
So, if you see it here, I'm like jumping between channels, I'm making sure that I'm talking to different people, I'm trying to have like sticking points and sort of like a reason that everyone can agree with as a consensus for how to get out Connor. Connor, obviously this is his first org. I feel like sometimes he's just staying in rooms for a while I'm trying to jump around and chat to different people, and obviously staying in rooms is advantageous in certain situations, but if it's your neck on the chopping block and if you know it's them or me, like, you betcha I'm going to be Sonicking the Hedgehog around every single room to make sure that I'm talking to the people that I need to.
This is like my first time, like, in 2 years.
I come out straight. I've heard you, Bandit. I have the majority is actually saying.
Yeah, I've heard Bandit and Connor. That's all I've heard.
I think the majority's on Connor, and I think it is reasons a bit low, but
this is like a psychological pressuring technique where you try to convince individuals that there's no point in doing anything else. It's kind of like a Boston Rob strategy, sort of like what he executes on Redemption Island, where it's like, what's the point? Like, you might as well just agree with me. We already have the consensus. And those very objective, hard-hitting statements, even though I wasn't 100% sure if I had the majority on my side, it might convince like a swing voter like Terry or even Panino to be able to side with me and get the majority on my side. If I'm saying the majority's on our side, come on, you have to do it. Come on, join the boat.
Like
I've
what?
heard-
Just because you're a YouTuber or something?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that what you do? Oh, see, I've never even seen
Yeah,
you.
Shot through the heart, Jonah. Goodness me. Surprised I didn't do an edit of that. It's fine you didn't watch the YouTube channel. But yeah, it was just so funny that like the entirety of episode 1 is just Bandit as a YouTube channel. Did you know? I don't know. And then Connor's like, we should get him out.
That takes me off.
You're all good.
That takes me off. But I've heard all 3 of you nominated. I've heard all of your names.
We should like talk around more though.
Yeah,
Get info.
try and.
But so far, I got both your backs.
Okay. So I got you guys back too.
Yeah.
Slut.
Who did you nominate?
Who did I nominate? Oh, Terry.
Oh,
No.
Terry.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Only because like me and Jace were like the only people who couldn't get into the 2 big rooms, and we were like, who should we nominate? And I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, I haven't really spoken to Terry a lot, and so I don't know.
We were all in agreement about Bandit.
Do you know who's saying our names?
Right?
Right, I know I should probably go.
let me stop. It's the first round. I won't get too. I'm not gonna get too. Go off home.
And the way that they plays out on the video is so funny. Where like Abby's like, "Who said our names, Panino? You're saying that people are saying our names. Who's saying our names?" And Panino's just frozen solid.
I don't even know.
A conversation.
To be fair, nobody.
to the camera kill me. I'm so
To be fair,
Okay, this is very funny in hindsight. Although, in here I was like pissing myself. I was like, "Can we please like save me?" So that's why I'm just there, stone faced, just like looking down at my sheet. I forgot to mention actually. If you see back here, like when Brandon is like, I watch your YouTube videos, I actually turn to my left and I write on my piece of paper, Brandon is a fan of the channel, just to make like a note of that. So that, in case anyone's wondering, that's a little Easter egg for you.
Nobody, to be fair, nobody even told me why I was nominated, so I'm just sitting here like, man, that sucks.
So guys, I'm gonna update you. I did not find his card still, so let's go. I made a perfect exact recreation of his card though. I made a really good recreation of his card.
Oh no.
Bro, wait, hold on. Let me see that. Wait,
What are you saying?
I even put your little lightsaber in there, dude.
Oh my god. You want me to go grab the lightsaber? I can if you want.
Hey man, if you want to, go ahead. But I'm gonna go ahead and get to the next part of this. Alright, wait, okay. I'll wait for him to
that 1%.
Alrighty, but yeah, yes, exact recreation, so we're good to go there. Alright, beautiful, man. Alright, Connor, get on back here. It's time to vote. Alrighty, guys. You have 1 minute to submit your vote. I'm gonna go ahead and start it now. Give people just a little bit more time to put in their votes. Also, last time I noticed a player messaged me on Snapchat. I'm not who. Don't do that. I can't read the votes. I'm not using my phone.
No. Okay, wait. I can explain. My Discord crashed, and I needed help.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna read them out one by one, Survivor style. So is everyone ready? Because I am.
Yep.
The first vote will go to Connor.
No.
1 Connor, 0 everyone else. The second vote is gonna go to Bandit. Alrighty, so 1 Connor, 1 Bandit. The next vote is gonna go to Connor.
No. I think this is it for me, guys.
The next vote is gonna go to Terry. So it's 2 Connor, 1-1 Bandit and
Terry. That was a weird vote order. I was like, have me and Connor both been played? Is Terry about to receive the rest of the votes and he's gonna get eliminated? Because that would be quite a plot twist. Put both me and my mortal enemy on the bottom and blindside Terry.
Terry. No one else has gotten a vote so far. The fourth vote will go to Bandit. The fifth vote will go to Connor.
Bro, what's trying to get me out? What the heck?
The sixth vote will go to Bandit.
You guys are so tied.
Alright, so it is 3-3 and 1 to Terry. Number whatever it is, it's gonna go to Connor.
No.
The next vote. The next vote will go to Bandit.
Oh my god, what is going on? So far, half of them have been for me and half have been for Bandit.
So, like, up until, like, the third card, for, like, the first, second, and the third card, I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna get votes, that's alright. The fourth card comes up, and I'm like, oh dear. I didn't expect to get that many, so, like, Connor is, like, basically verbalizing what I'm saying. It's like, oh dear, what is going on? Like, we could end up with a 5-5-1 vote at the very first round of the game.
Definitely interesting.
So right now it is
Terry.
4-4-1. Next vote is gonna go to Connor.
Bro, I forgot to vote from half the cast.
The first person eliminated from Chaotic Reality Live Season 1 is Connor.
No!
Man,
thanks for watching the videos, Connor.
Your interview.
I had to get my little jab in there. My flex and my diss.
You was so much fun, man. Do you have any final words for us tonight?
I'm telling you all this right now. Bandit is a threat. All right, he has done stuff like this before because he has a YouTube channel. All right.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Throughout the game, I was like saying, oh, you know, it's a bit low. I didn't really mind too much that Connor was targeting me for my YouTube channel throughout the game. If I got eliminated the first round, I was like, okay, I get to go to bed early at least. The fact that his final words were still trying to put a target on me because of my YouTube channel and because I play orcs, I was like, oh, come on, dude. Like, really? The last thing you're going to be remembered about in Chaotic Reality, and it's still trying to put a target on me? Like, we had a close vote, we were competitors. Like, come on. Like, say something about how you had fun during the event. Don't throw me more under the bus than you already have.
Connor, I swear, you need to get him out.
Almost.
And even people start calling him out like Abby, so...
Every single person here has done an org before. What you're doing is metagaming.
I am the only one that has never done this before.
I just want to say to everyone, I just shout out.
So at this point, I was just like, screw it. Like, I was trying to like drip feed people. I was like, okay, like, you know, I do orcs. Yeah, I got like a YouTube channel. And some people throughout the game started knowing that. I was like, screw it. I want to put a bow and tie this up so that it doesn't leave round one, that everyone knows why I've been targeted. I do orcs, I have a YouTube channel, I'm a Survivor YouTuber, I interact with a lot of other Survivor YouTubers. I'll just put that out there so that every single person knows, so that there's no sort of in discussion and there's no sorts of people under the radar trying to be like, hey, what was Connor saying about again? I was like, let me just make it clear so that everyone knows, so that this discussion doesn't have to leave. Well, this discussion does leave episode 1 and doesn't continue into episode 2 and beyond, and just pull off a fatality essentially. No more chat about me being a YouTuber or the orgs. That's it, and I'll end it.
Orgs, I don't play in them. I advertise them. I give them individuals that haven't played orgs the opportunity to play orgs.
Alrighty, guys.
In an org.
Well, Connor, I guess I'm not.
Okay, so I hear Jace say he says well in an org. I was like, okay, right. Like, I don't play the text-based orgs that I shout out on my YouTube channel. Playing 15 orgs would be quite insane. But I didn't hear him say I'm joking, so I was like, okay, I think Jace is after me. I thought a lot more like negatively about Jace's perception of me because I didn't hear him say I'm joking.
I'm starting to resist this, but I'm sorry, Connor.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Before I go, my brother is Duckfucker69. Anyways, I'll see you on the other side.
Thanks to a big threat.
Yeah, so here's the votes here. So we have us 6 that voted to eliminate Connor. So it was myself, Feven, Jess, Brendan, Avi, and Jonah. So again, it was literally down to that Brendan, Feven, and Jess contingent. Who would I give MVP to? See, I was messaging Feven and I was like, you were the MVP that episode. I would say from my perspective, for like putting down mine, like I'd say the best player this round was like Feven, just because she got a lot of mileage out of the rounds and she's able to connect with a lot of people. My personal MVP was definitely Brendan, but the vote on Connor, he was able to form a group with Jess and Feven, and that ultimately saved me because they were able to come together and be like, yeah, we're saving Bandit. If they said no, or even if they hadn't made that group, there could have been a disconnect there where some people just end up voting for me because they aren't united in voting out Connor. So shout out to that group. Thank you to my girls and Brendan, the fan of my channel, for sticking with me. So yeah, I get the votes by Connor, obviously, and Terry and Jace. So I knew that Terry and Jace voted for me. Terry I knew because we hadn't spent that much time chatting. Jace because he was like, because again, I heard him say, he says, well, playing an org, while even not hearing him say, only kidding. So I'm like, okay, like, this guy is actually after me. And then I wasn't sure if the final vote would be, I was pretty sure it'd be Ant. I was thinking maybe Brandon might have. Again, gotta remember, I missed that conversation between Jess, Feven, and Brandon. I wasn't in that room. So I thought it might have been Ant, but there was also a small chance it could have been Brandon. But those 4, yeah, they make sense. And I did have those 4 in mind as the most likely combination to have voted for me at that round. And then interestingly, Panino votes for Terry, so he stays with Terry. Which is quite interesting because he was obviously between the groups. He was like one of those, like, I felt like it was very much me versus Connor with like Panino in the middle, and he was always ending up in rooms with like me and then Connor, and like we were both given our sides. So I think he just decided to go for the safe vote in Terry.
Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope everyone enjoyed. First, I want to tell you what we left out of the video. So there was a moment where I forgot to list Connor's nomination, which I noticed 15 seconds after I finished the nominations. So I was able to drag them back all into the room and let them know that. That's why it looks more hastily edited in, but we decided not to include that in the episode due to it messing with the pacing. That is all we didn't include. We included as much else as we...
And that's my Discord tag. If you ever want to be on Discord, give me a friend request. If you are a YouTuber and you do want to do any YouTube events, obviously I've done live streams, done podcasts, done orgs. Very well known for orgs. I'm this org master maniac. I'm doing collaborations with other people that you'll be seeing me shout out on my community posts. Doing a lot actually right now. The past 2 months, just the channel has just, you know, community wise exploded. So thank you all so much. I've been with a lot of more YouTubers and a lot of different individuals. So I can't thank you enough for all the support you showed to my YouTube channel, for the videos, for me as a creator and a person in general. I highly appreciate it, and I don't take it for granted, even though I do work long and hard, and I put a lot of effort into my videos and stuff on the channel. Wouldn't be anything without you lot. So thank you all for your continued support of Bandit Survivor.
We could. So be sure to tell me what you think in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching.
Man, what a good first episode. That was so well done, from the pacing to the editing to just VC being a host to like even the structure of the episode was just fantastic. And I feel like this is an episode that leaves you wanting more. Like, I know what happens, and even I want to see what happens in episode 2 and beyond. So hopefully you're all hyped and you're subscribed, notification bells on to the Chaotic Reality channel, because they need the support. They're a smaller org that are trying out this new live format, so any support that you show them would be greatly appreciated. If you comment down below in Chaotic Reality's chat, I'll be sure to check out some of the messages. Some of them I've already checked out and I've responded to, and I'm sure there's others that have happened that I haven't been able to respond to. I've been very busy today. Uni is tomorrow. Also went very over time on this video. I've been looking at my phone constantly. It's been like an hour and a half for like a 36-minute video, so you can't say that I did not give my 2 cents in this video. I definitely give a large reaction and explain my thought processes hopefully very well. But hopefully you are enjoying the Chaotic Reality on the channel. Obviously, usually on this channel I talk about social strategy shows like Survivor or even Big Brother UK. I talk about different kinds of like Survivor things you can do, so you can like play Survivor the game, or you can have Survivor card games. So this is a little bit different. This is an org that I featured in and I'm going to be reacting to. So let me know how you feel about the format in the comments below. Do you enjoy it? Is there any things that I could change? Obviously this is my episode 1, so I'm still learning things as well, but I feel like this was very well put together. It's actually like, when you, obviously I played in this at the night, and just to see like there was quite a few issues that were happening, just so to see them completely edit around them and have this really smooth experience for the viewer was super cool to see. So the props to the editing team. I know that VC, he did like the structure. I know that Duck